Forum for Autism is a parent support group to support families of children with autism. It was set up in the year 2002 under the Indian Trust Act 1950. Forum for Autism mainly aims at creating awareness about autism, empowering parents to advocate for rights of persons with autism. Forum for Autism is a parent body which runs two libraries in Kolaba and in Vashi with around 500 books. It also conducts parent training workshops, seminars, and talks. It has a database of parents and professionals and provides sponsorship to unaffording families. Forum for Autism participates in various activities. To name a few are Mumbai Marathon, conducted workshops for parents with young adults, celebration of World Disability Day at Malad Basti, and self-help skill workshop. Since the lockdown, Forum for Autism is continuing its work online. It has been conducting webinars on various topics like preparing to choose the boards, homeschooling, storytelling sessions, setting up presidential setup, to name a few. All the parents who are interested can check those webinars on YouTube. Chef Sanjeev Kapoor and commentator Harsha Bhogle are the cause ambassadors for Forum for Autism. Throughout the lockdown, FFA, that is Forum for Autism, along with ASK, that is Adult Support Kendra, is offering online individual counseling, family counseling, parent support, apart from various other services. To know more about these services, please contact Nicole Kapadia and Suhasini Sundaresan on the numbers mentioned. Join our journey. Be an active part of Forum for Autism. To know more, please call on the phone numbers on your screens. Thank you for your overwhelming response to our webinars. Forum for Autism requests you to donate generously so it helps in our future endeavors. All the donations are eligible for the tax exemption. Please follow us on social media for updates on workshops organized by Forum for Autism. Please follow our Facebook page, Forum for Autism. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out our website www.forumforautism.org.
Over to you, Samruddhi ma'am.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm very elated today. I'm very elated to brew some amazing conversations with two of my guest speakers for today. They both are a bundle of creative energy together. Both offer a very fresh outlook towards life. Both are fun to be with, and they represent together a brand called as Patchwork Quilt of Ideas. So I shall quote a few lines from Unfolding by Fadwa Ilyas to introduce the philosophy that they believe in and the work that they do. They say, everyone is a being whole, complete and perfect in its own unique way. That we all have the unique potential to be and to do whatever we choose to. That as the resources we need are hidden deep inside our being. They say more than I could possibly convey. And let's together discover, unravel, uncover the what, the who, and the hows of what it means to be together for one another, and we can all hold a handle for one another. So friends, let's welcome Rachel Vaz D'Abreo.
Hello. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction.
You're most welcome. Rachel is an out-of-box thinker, very, very creative. I've seen her work and I've been a witness for a few of her playdates. She's a meticulous planner and a visionary. She has a degree in psychology and she's done a special education course, which she's putting to the best use. A joyful mother of two wonderful daughters, her compassion and confidence reflects in all her work so deeply. So thank you, Rachel, for being here.
Thanks, dear.
I welcome Prerana Mandle. Prerana has a background in chemistry, which she never reveals. Her journey starts from, I don't know how to be a mom, to a mother who connects now so well, so amazing with her son, that she always says that he leads me in every step that I take. This girl does not follow any rule book of society. She just follows her heart. She believes in pursuing her heart and bringing smiles. She is an unconventional thinker and an entrepreneur and runs a personalized venture, Gift a Smile. So welcome, Prerana. So friends, today's webinar is about playdates. We've had a lot of questions about how to make friends, how to really play with our children and how to make it fun. So we thought who best than these two moms who conduct playdates since which year? 2016. So let's start, what are playdates? I mean, I know we talk about playdates, but I think our parents would like to know, how would you define it?
I mean, it's very simple actually. It's just you have a date, you have a fixed time and place, and it's a place where you get your kids together to play. Now, under normal circumstances, parents would invite their friends over and the kids would play on their own what they like. They would introduce each other to their interests. Our kids need a little bit of push, a little bit of direction. So that is what we do.
Right.
Okay. So we are creating that environment where children can explore each other's friendship in a safe environment at home.
Okay.
And with us, we need to guide our kids to the extent that they have a good time, create those opportunities for them to enjoy each other's companionship.
Okay. So as you said, Rachel, so it's important to ensure that, most importantly, that they're comfortable sharing just the space together, right? So that's the main goal. Okay. And how did you all come up with this whole idea about playdates? How did it all start?
We have different journeys which led us together.
So I would like both of y'all to.
Yeah, I mean, we were not just two of us, firstly, okay? We were an entire group of parents, and each parent brought their own need, desire, perspective to it. I mean, like for me, being one of the older moms, I was already aware of the benefits of Playdate. I could see my elder child bloom, with Playdates. So for me, it was just a matter of bringing that same opportunity to my younger child. And, since, even a therapist always encouraged her, you all should do it on your own. So this was the best thing that happened, because, you have to juggle as parents, you have to juggle time, you have to juggle resources. And, when you implement your own resources, you bring in your stuff together, everything works out much more smoothly.
Right.
So that is something which motivated me, but I'm sure like each of us have our own journeys. Yeah.
So like once you thought about this idea, you shared it with Prerana.
It came more naturally.
More
It was not
naturally.
like, okay, let's do play dates. Go.
Right.
It was like, okay, birthday party. Why don't we do this more often?
So it started from there.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And
So
she has a different story.
Yeah. So for me, so I was always son of Shadow when he used to go to kindergarten.
And
there I used to see that he wanted to be with kids. He wanted to now do what they're doing, but still he was not able to. And the kids also, they tried taking him in, but they were not able to figure out what will work for him. So he was always left behind because they also wanted to play. And then I remember going to Rachel's place for her kid's birthday party. There we had first time met like for a group thing. And it was not decided, it was just birthday party. But then we connected and we said, let's do this more often and stay time. And then that is how the Playdates started.
Yeah, and there were other moms also who played a very crucial role. I remember one of our moms had been to CMC for some kind of, training, and she was like, we have to do this. So the inputs came from different people, different sectors. I guess it was just meant to happen.
Right. So it happened very naturally, as you said. Okay. And so having play dates, what I could see, these are very active bloggers also. So I see a lot of photos where not just the kids, even you all are having a lot of fun together. It seems very cathartic. So I wanted to know, how is it for mums? What's the experience?
I mean, the very fact that 2016 and 22 and we're still at it, it speaks for itself, right?
Absolutely.
So because we do find that we're more energized than, our resources are not depleted by doing this. It gives us more, it makes us feel that power, that energy to do more, to, create those positive vibes. And we definitely, we draw from it more than what we put into it.
Also, there are times ki na kabhi aise laga, okay, let's go. So Tanav and I love to go out. But when it's just two of us, we do go out, just two of us. But there are many times when I see, acha nahi, it's too much of a task. Yahan pe jana hai, then what will we do? How will I manage? But when I have a set of parents with me who understand the same situation, it's much better. And also we have become great friends. So it's a win-win thing.
Situation, right? So it's therapeutic.
It is.
Definitely.
Okay. So a lot of our parents would like to know the nature of these play dates. Like, are these play dates conducted more of indoors, or do you all have also a lot of outdoors of play dates? What are the places that you all take kids to? So if you all could share.
Yes. So we started with indoors
Mhm.
because we just started with indoors, but then we slowly started going outdoors too. So it's not that play dates hai to indoors hi karna hai.
In fact, we had nearby.
Yeah.
We didn't start with it.
Correct,
We
correct.
started with nearby parks.
Parks.
Then we got
Hmm.
very adventurous. And we have explored places. Okay?
Right.
And the bigger the group circle, we have gone on the excursions, overnight trips and stuff like
Wow.
that. So,
Okay.
we started small and we grew up eventually. I mean, and it's never about let us do this. This is something which we have to do. This is an opportunity. Let's grab it.
Okay.
You know, that kind of
Okay.
thing.
Let's have fun.
Right. No, I remember Raisa's birthday party, Rachel's daughter's, and she had hosted in National Park, and there were a lot of kids together.
Yeah, I remember we had this list of games, which we had to conduct, and we landed doing something. I mean, we had this huge bed sheet, and we said we are going to play blanket volleyball or something like that.
Yeah.
And the kids
Keeping the OT goals.
yeah, and the kids just sat in that, and we were swinging them, and everybody was hooting, and it was amazing.
So it was meeting your sensory goals,
Yeah.
right? In a different way, in a fun
Different goal.
way.
Yeah.
And without sounding like therapist. So could you list out some of the places that parents could take their kids to? Like you said, parks.
Anything and everywhere is see, it's the comfort.
Mhm.
Okay, you
Mhm.
get comfortable over chai.
Mhm.
Then you go to the next park. And then you see, okay, my kid will benefit if they go to this museum, or my kid will benefit if they go to the beach. Then it's an open field. I mean,
Right.
every experience that a child should have, you can do it in the company of a friend.
We have
Right.
taken them to fire stations and so temples, churches.
Yeah.
So we have gone everywhere.
Everywhere.
So,
Possible, yeah.
so it's not about the place or aise hoga to hi theek hoga. There's nothing wrong or right in this.
It's just taking their lead.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
taking their lead. So at times kids
No,
don't
we-
want to go also.
Right.
Take them.
Okay.
Let's see. So if sometimes we have planned places, but then kid did not want to go, so we landed up going somewhere else.
Right. So I think
we can play that.
Yeah, we can play a video here.
Yeah.
Priyanka, could you please play the video of
Play it.
Yes.
the location? Yeah.
Wow. Ryzen, look at the flamingos. You don't need binoculars.
Those were wonderful memories. Like, I could just see so like varied themes, right? Forts, beaches, and the flamingos. Wow. Like I haven't myself seen such amazing places. And, it's so good to make episodics for our kids, visit the places and, share the pictures, talk about them. So a lot can be done. Language, even themes from history. So it's wonderful. So I saw a mixed set of kids in your group from the photos. So do you all have do you all have like groups as per age? Because I'm sure a lot of parents do have these questions when to conduct play dates. Should we have kids around the same age? Should we have kids around the same skill sets? So it'll help parents to know on what are the things that you decide on these.
The only criteria to come for playdate is you must have a kid with you. Doesn't matter age. We've opened it to volunteers also. Friends come in and come in. Yeah. And so age doesn't matter. Diagnosis doesn't matter. Level doesn't matter because each one helps each other in different ways. If your child is, so for example, I'm just giving an example. So Tana never ate fruits, but I remember he seeing one of his friends eat banana and he started eating banana. So, and then someone else can pick up something from Tana that person is not right. It doesn't matter if they are talking, if they are communicating, they just learn by observing. If you be the kids who are talking well, they learn by taking care of each other, nurturing. So learning happens irrespective of anything. So it doesn't matter if you add something.
Yeah, I mean, we play with our kids. Okay? We want our kids to play with our kids. So as long as you feel that your child is growing in that group, okay, if somebody is better skilled, better equipped, more verbal, they take on a different role.
Hmm.
They will help us conduct the play date.
Hmm.
They will probably be like a leader
Hmm.
or a buddy,
Mhm.
so they take on different roles,
Hmm.
and our kids need that kind of exposure as well. Okay, so someone who's a little older will become a buddy, will become the leader, so they get that opportunity to experience that sense of leadership.
Right.
Whereas somebody who's a little behind has somebody to look up to. Dekho didi kitna acha kar rahi hai,
Hmm.
and it's so much better. I mean, kids are drawn to kids. Okay,
Absolutely.
I'll tell them 10 times, but if they see a little older child doing something beautifully, they want to do it. So there's no like real criteria. We want inclusion happens at all levels. Age is one of them.
Hmm.
Okay. So yeah, we want people to come in, and we are open to people joining us. And it does not have to have a specific diagnosis. Definitely it does not need a diagnosis.
You don't need a
Yeah,
diagnosis.
we just need people who want to participate. And, that's the beauty of it all.
I remember because we post so many photos and everything online.
Right.
I remember our friends who don't have special kids, who don't have kids with have diagnosis, they have called us. It's so much fun. Can we join next time? And we are like, welcome.
Please do, because and not just that, even friends who like, "Arey, ye bahut achhi jagah hai. You can go here."
Yes.
And that has, really increased. I mean, you see so many opportunities, and that has come from different places.
Yeah.
And that goodwill, it's like really encouraged us. You can go to marine biology. I mean, I would not have gone alone. I would not have been, but kisi ne bola. And we were like, okay, come on, let's go.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Same with butterfly park.
Yeah.
So we learned so much there.
Yeah.
And there are times when kids who are verbal, who can express, there are times when they tell us, he's not liking it, please don't do that. So that is so important, and they're teaching us so much.
So how do you all also have siblings joining in? Because
Yeah, absolutely.
a lot of parents also do ask how to help the siblings, when one of the child is on the spectrum, and how to build that bond. So do you all have siblings also who come for together?
Yes, and we have a blast.
Yeah.
Because they could take the lead there, and
They really get to shine.
yeah. and then they are so helpful, and they feel so accomplished by doing that and helping someone.
Hmm.
So that's a big moral booster for them.
Right.
I mean, we say we need to inculcate empathy, kindness. This happens naturally.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's very beautiful. And sometimes, we are in the thick of things, we don't really realize. But it's when we see the pictures, now we ourselves are like so overwhelmed, that, oh, look at that. Look at how she's showing him. Look at how she's like, leading the way. And it's amazing.
So you capture those moments.
So I remember someone had asked me after a few years, so okay, Tanav acknowledges Raisa as friend. Like, no. And then I see it photo, then no, I think they do. And and then Tanav comes to me and he sees that photo that I'm looking, and he says, Raisa. So I know that our kids are not able to say at that time, express at that time, but they do understand, they do acknowledge that these are my friends. So
now, this is a very important point, I think, which both of y'all made, because sometimes they might be playing parallelly, right? They might not really go, like Tanav might not go and hold Raisa's hand and play with her and vice versa. But then he knows, he's absorbing, he's already creating a bond. And I'm sure Tanav knows a lot of things about Raisa more than what Rachel would, what Raisa like, what she doesn't like, because they are very smart observers.
Observers, they are very sensitive.
Yes.
I remember kids doing, when we have been very exhausted, I remember kids coming and just doing this to themselves.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I mean, like when you least expect it, you will get a hug.
Yeah.
And that's when you realize, okay, something is working.
Yes. No, they do experience emotions very, very strongly. You can really read and absorb it. That's it. Okay. Yeah. So now a lot of parents do ask about, because as you all said, you have varied age groups. And like a few of this, like Peru and Prerana, we call her Peru fondly. So Peru and Rachel, they do homeschooling together. And there are a lot of kids who come for the play dates who are going to mainstream schools or special setups. So everybody, each child has a different schedule. So how do you all really manage? Because I know a lot many times it's like, yeah, I want to do a play date, but how do I find the time to squeeze in? Because our children are already so busy with therapies and other grinds. So how do you all like, because these girls have been doing it so consistently. So how do you all manage it, manage the schedules of all the children?
To be honest, it's not really as frequent as it used to be.
Mhm.
Initially, it would be even thrice a week.
Okay.
Yeah, but now it has to be like on the weekends, like that.
Okay.
So yeah, we do have to consider all that, and since we also do homeschooling, we cover some here, some there. So yeah, we have to restrict ourselves to weekends, and of course all the possible festival holidays that we get, we make use of that.
Right.
Yeah, and we like to give people notice also, so that they can join in. Sometimes we have smaller play dates. Sometimes we have the holidays make a difference.
And also the time schedule. So when we had started, these were tiny, like this one photo, they were tiny. So they did not have so much of commitment, even the other kids for schools and other
Right.
things. So it used to be more like a fun thing, and now also it was fun, but the time, it like evenings mein ho jata tha. Now also I think when we decide to do, those who want to join, they do come up and we try to fit in the time, but it's not possible ki har ek ka wo kare. So now it is more or less Tanav and Raida's time, and then we do
Okay.
around
Okay.
the play dates or the workshops which we do, we tend to do it on a Saturday
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah.
So I guess those who are keen on it, they kind of keep that space. Right.
Because I know they're doing a lot of activities as a part of Patchwork Quilt, like they conduct a lot of workshops for parents. They do a lot of craft activities, a lot of theme-based activities. So it's really nice to see how you all really manage all these things along with your other priorities. Okay, so okay. So like having said that, I wanted to know if because also I know that Rachel is a very, very good planner and very organized as a person. So do you all have specific goals that you all keep in mind when you are conducting the play dates, or it's like, is there a lot of work which goes behind? And these are important questions because a lot many times parents, they do want to conduct play days, they want to do this, but they don't know how to start, or they think that maybe will I be able to do this? Will I be able to plan goals? So if y'all could help them in terms of how y'all work along these lines.
It comes in very naturally, actually.
Mhm.
If you want to teach your child, you want to do it in a fun way.
Mhm.
Okay, so that becomes your main criteria.
Mhm.
And then it just evolves accordingly. You don't have to think too far. Okay.
Okay.
You break it down into simple things. Okay, today I need to, when we were when they were little, we were working on pincer grip and turn taking. Now also we still work on turn taking. Now we're trying to encourage kind of reciprocal speech and stuff like that. So there's a lot of role play. So these things come in very naturally, and over a period of time, the people who are participating in your play date kind of get they, the age, we understand. Iska ye hai, uska wo. So you know what each child needs. You know what is their level, and it becomes very it's almost organic. How we go about choosing it. It's like you look outside. It's raining. Okay, you got your theme for your play date.
Okay.
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 It's okay. Abhi kya hai? Raksha Bandhan ho gaya. Ya Gokulashtami ho gaya. Okay, you want to tell them this is not just a festival. There is some meaning to it. There's more than all the loud sounds. There's some meaning to it. What is it trying to tell us? So it happens very organically. You just have to look at the calendar. Friday ko hai, ye hai, kaun sa season chal raha hai, kya aane wala hai. It just flows very naturally. And themes come in. They come in very, very naturally. If you look at you're looking at Earth Day. Okay. So what do? You teach them how to grow a seed. You want to show them different types of seed. You sort seeds. Everything, once you have a theme, everything follows.
Okay.
You don't have to really scratch your head and say, "Re Papri." You said Rachel is a good planner. She is a good planner. It happens very organically, you know. I mean, you don't really have to sit with 5 books and say, okay, this is my goal. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4 activity. Aisa kuch nahi hai. And nowadays, you know, everything is available. You just go online, you check this, you know.
Right, right. You get ideas.
You get ideas and
She's being very
Modest.
having said that, I think the lot of planning does behind this. So the playdates are planned because we don't want to keep it at the last moment. Ki kya karna hai?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, because we don't want to lose that time when
Right.
the kids are together.
Right.
So we do plan activities,
Okay.
and there is a planning. At the same time, if I've planned an activity, for example, painting, okay, and it's all day, and we have planned painting a tree, but kids don't want to paint a tree. Kids want to the splash colors. That is also okay. The painting is happening.
So there's flexibility.
So
Yeah.
you have a structure, yet
Yeah.
flexible.
And
Structured,
logistically, I mean, you need to. You're doing
Yeah.
painting, you
Yeah.
need those things.
Right.
You need, if you
Right.
you want to show a plant, you have to source that
Yes,
plastic.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that kind of planning, yes, we need to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think any parent who wants to teach, wants to have a play date, can easily, you know, just pick up a goal and don't make it, but you don't have to climb a mountain in a day.
Right, right.
Right? Chota chota kuch le lo. The main aim should be that the kids are having fun, they're enjoying that experience, and the learning will happen automatically.
Also, here I would like to add that our kids, most of our kids love structure.
Hmm.
So there is little structure. So, for example, we start our play date with a song, a hello
Okay.
song.
Okay.
Uh,
So shall we?
oh yes,
Yeah.
you can.
So so friends, they start the playdate with the hello song. So I think they will show it to us how they go about it.
There are
So,
several actually.
Yeah, there are several.
yeah.
Prerana wants to do her favorite one.
So like I think we'll show the audience so that they can also get some ideas on how
Yeah,
to.
it's just,
Yeah.
it's
So
just, no, with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
okay.
Okay, it's just hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? How are you today? Good to see that Sam is here. Good to see that Sam is here. Good to see that Sam is here. How are you today? And then we take a
Rounds in saying the names. Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, so that sometimes kids learn better when it's a song.
Hmm.
So then, you know, they pick up the names, they pick
Right.
up the right.
and then they know, okay, now our playdate has started.
Okay. Okay. So it's like the starting of the playdate, you'll always have a certain thing. So then no.
Yeah.
it is
Yeah, the
start.
structure is
Yeah.
to set the flow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not like, you know, you have to do this,
Yeah,
this,
right.
but it starts.
Also,
Right.
a song brings them together. Because they're all, and then song, they all go down.
Right. Right.
And so often, you know, our parents walk in, they're like, oh, abhi therapy ho gaya, ye ho gaya, this, that. And they're like, they're just not aware, you know, and then we say, okay, time for our song. Then everybody calms
Refresh.
down and, you know, it starts.
Refreshing.
Yeah, it's like a cue, like the bell,
Yeah.
but it's a very nice, sweet cue.
Very much. Okay, so I think let's see a video here. Priyanka, could you please put a
Yes.
video?
Yeah, the activities one. Yeah.
Now, Akshar will catch. And Raisa will take which color, Raisa? Which color?
Later.
Oh, and what pink was there? Yeah, purple also. Very pink. It's a pink rubber band. Stretch it. Stretch it.
Okay, so these were wonderful videos again, and I could see that a lot of sensory play, a lot of play where there was reciprocal interaction. And could you all talk a little bit about that for our parents?
So, let's keep it very simple to understand and to remember. Okay. Think of the games that you played as a child yourself. Our kids don't get those opportunities. Let's create those opportunities for them. So mud playing, hanging around. So all these things, if you are not able to do at home, just go out in the garden and do it. And planning of activities and so you every parent knows his or her child's sensory issues. Okay, so let's plan activities around them so that those sensory issues are taken care of, but in a very fun way. I remember Tanam still has very tactile issues.
Yeah, right.
And then we started like doing the mud, as in we started doing planting the tree and everything. But he likes to sing. So club it with that.
Okay.
So we went re mama, re mama, re. So whatever he likes, along with something that he doesn't like so much. So balance it out.
Yeah. So without making it seem like therapy, without making it seem
Like
like
work.
pushing him, because I know Tanav for sure is not going to do anything if pushed. And Prerana has always used his lead, and he has tactile issues. So you're saying that you blended it with music because he loves, and that made him associate that connection.
So try doing it with, do it with your child. Not just do it. Let's do it. No, let's do it. And let's have that fun, add that fun element, just play.
Right.
Doing activities in this place that, I mean, at least for me, it has helped because, sometimes you can't do it on your own. Okay, you need that extra pair of eyes and hands and legs.
Absolutely.
So if like one of us is sitting with the kids and one person is running around with that mop or whatever is needed. So it is very, it becomes very easy to handle these things. Doing it on your own, like, you want your kid to experience clay, you want them to do slime, you want them to put their hands in sand. We do all that. But sometimes it becomes a little difficult doing it individually. In a group, there's somebody to take care.
Right.
And that way we tend to explore so much more. And even but just by observation, lots of things do settle. Like, okay, my friend is touching it, it can't be so bad. Okay. So maybe not entirely. To a great extent, I think even observing others with food sensory things, a lot of things help. Touching, I'm not so sure, but yes, they do at least. Okay, they tolerate it. Otherwise, you're like screaming around it. But that does help.
And having said that, it doesn't happen in the first play date.
Right.
You have to stick around over and over again for it to work.
Consistency is very important, and not giving up. Okay, initially few play days, you might find that your children are not even wanting to come for the play day, probably. But then with consistency,
Trying to add here, I mean, lots of times we do stuff. And if there's a new parent, they feel very compelled to have their kid do it. And we are like, it's okay, give them time. They don't have to participate. We have to make parents aware, that we have to give children that time and space. They will come around.
right.
If we go in with that, anxiety, ki hai Bhagwan, har koi bacha kar raha hai, it's not a contest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know Raisa does a lot of beautiful craft activity, and Tanav might not want to do craft activity, right? So it's okay for you if he is not doing it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to become a negative experience for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but he becomes aware ki aisa ho sakta hai. I think of late I've seen him doing stuff.
Yeah. So now even if he's scolding one, that's a win for me. It's a
Absolutely.
win for me.
So you are tracking his own milestones,
Yes,
right?
yes. I cannot compare Tanav even with
Yeah.
Raisa, though they have grown together.
Yes.
So
Yes.
because both of them have their own strengths.
Hmm.
And so when many a times when a new parent joins, they can just teach Mira bachcha na thoda aise ho raha hai, wo nahi kar raha hai.
That's
And we are like chill, it's okay, because we've seen our kids. Tanav used to
I mean,
howl and
all
cry.
parents here, and it's okay if your kid is having a bad day. You can go and sit separately for some time. You can take a walk and come back. So, that comfort makes a big,
It is.
and we do communicate our anxiety to our kids. That's definitely there. So once the parent is settled, the parent understands us, we understand each other. That itself is like a big win. it takes away a lot of the stress, the negativity, and it becomes easier. But you need to give it, not the first, second, maybe third, fourth, fifth, mein aa jayega.
Right.
Even after the kid settles, maybe there will be a day when
Right.
they're not in their element.
Right.
But you need to give them that space.
Right.
And it is okay one day. If the child doesn't want to do it, it's okay. Then sit. We can observe. You don't want to pass. That is okay.
But creating that space without any judgment, okay, among parents, that is crucial, you know.
And the pressure of performance.
Yeah.
Because our kids definitely are not going to judge each other.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Not just our kids. Kids in general do not judge.
See, they
It's
do
always
it's
that,
coming from
yeah,
somewhere else.
yeah.
So when they see that they are exposed to that, you know, atmosphere of not being judged, they fall in line.
Yes.
Also, I would like to just add little Gyan. Don't say anything negative about your child in front of the child. Never, never, never do that. Even if the child is not communicating, even if the child is not giving eye
He's
contact,
listening. Yeah.
the child is listening, the child is understanding, and the child is feeling ashamed. My mom or my dad is not proud of me. So never, never do
Yeah, he's building a self-concept about himself, right? Yeah.
It is, you know, I mean, acceptance, inclusion, these are all wonderful terms. It is a journey.
It
Okay,
is. It
and
is.
it grows.
It is.
So it's not like, you know, I don't accept, but sometimes maybe I'm having a bad day.
Yes.
I may fall back, and that
For sure.
happens.
Yeah.
But you know, you need that space, and every child goes to that also.
Yes.
Every parent goes through that.
Yeah. So even in terms of this, I think having play dates, it's like, you know, it is so therapeutic even for the parents, because if I am feeling low about something that my child is not doing, I can just share with one of the mothers in the play dates. I'm sure there are all mothers in the play dates, right? Or are there even fathers?
Once upon a time, एक हदी कोई डाला है.
Yeah, and I think festivals,
Yeah.
birthdays, they
did.
Yeah.
They are
Now the
there.
families have
Yeah.
bonded together.
We've had special play dates involving grandparents.
Okay.
It was a big,
It was a
big
wonderful
success.
yeah.
I mean, I
The
could see,
grandmothers bonded so well.
yeah, I could see that they were genuinely touched. Okay, and they got that feel. Okay, बच्चे के साथ बैठ के करना है, and this is not something that only my child is going through.
Yes.
And therefore, you know, just like I feel understood by her. They also found that companionship. Like, you know, they said, yeah, you know, these are our kids and we have to accept them the way they are.
Because in their generation, there's a lot of judgment and there's a lot of peer pressure from the society. कि अच्छा मेरा तो नातू पोती जो भी है वो ये स्कूल में जा रहा है तुम्हारा कौन सा there's a lot of pressure, but this space it was a different.
It is because they you know, even they do go from their own set of anxieties when they don't see the child talking, you know, and for them it is very difficult to comprehend that there are other ways to communicate. And so looking at other children who are very similar to my grandchild must be
And
very
usually at for therapies, parents or mothers usually take
Yeah.
grandparents are involved just in the house.
right.
So they do not see many kids.
Yeah.
So they are very anxious about it. कि कैसे होगा दुनिया में?
Right. No, it takes a village to really raise a child, and more so with a special child. So it's a lot of awareness that you all are doing. And yeah, it's a process. Acceptance is a process, as Rachel said. Also, one thing that I really saw in the videos is it was not like your kids were only with you all, you know, like some of the other moms were holding your kids. So that's also beautiful.
It is
each
because
one of you,
also, so if I talk in a very therapy language, they start generalizing with someone else giving the directions. And if I talk my language, you get a breather for 2 minutes. Someone else is holding my child. So because see, if you observe, your anxieties will never rise with someone else's child. It is always with your child because you want your child to perform.
right.
So
You're always
feeling
less
of
patient
being
with,
judged.
yeah.
There's as a parent कि अच्छा मैं सब कुछ कर नहीं रही हूँ क्या? मैं इतने साल से कर रही हूँ तो नहीं हो रहा है क्या? But with someone else's child, you won't have that.
Yeah.
So little at least.
No, I totally agree with that. So, are these play dates like inclusive? Like you all have mentioned that the siblings have joined, or you know, like so. To what level have these play dates been inclusive?
So inclusion is just not with respect to kids.
Hmm.
So yes, the kids are always there. So the neurotypical kids have the siblings or our friends' kids have joined with diagnosis, without diagnosis. And the diagnosis really doesn't matter.
Hmm.
And so that is one kind of inclusion. The another kind of inclusion is the celebrations.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what we do, so
Hmm.
we try to, I would say teach, but yeah, inculcate those values in our kids that yes. So समझो गणपति का चल रहा है. Why is that happening? Or Diwali is happening, or Eid is happening. Why is that happening? Christmas में सब कुछ decoration है. Why is that happening? So how will our kids know it? So we try to do celebrations around it. We tell stories, plan activities. So it's not just inclusion in terms of or kids or diagnosis, it's inclusion in terms of a person, human being, because we are all different and yet same. We can celebrate together, and so there's a word sahajivan. So like a natural forest has all small shrubs and big trees and climbers and creepers. So this is a place where we want to teach them that our world is also like that. We live in a big community, and not just no, when I say community, not just your building or your community, but as a human being, we are a big community and we celebrate each other. We celebrate each other's differences and we value those things. So those values we do that.
Yes.
You want to add?
So yeah, just this thought that I wanted to ask is, see, generally what happens is, because you mentioned about even Ganesh festival, generally what happens is when we take our kids for birthday parties, because of the noise, because of the other sensory challenges, I know that a lot of them can't go for these celebrations, or and it is difficult for even others, for the neurotypical world, as we say, to understand them, right? So in terms of that, any experiences that you've had, because you all have taken them, as you said, to the fire station, to theme parks. So have you all seen any kind of awareness being built up there, or
So I remember, so I have a friend and she had a birthday party and there's another special child there and he was scared of balloons. And so because she knew it, she had not decorated with balloons.
Oh.
So that is how we need to build the community. As you said, it takes a village. So that is how we need to, because if you're inviting a child and if the child is going to get traumatized, then it's not a birthday party for that child. And that it gives a very negative experience in general. So if you can just communicate to your friends, and even when we go out, so for example, the drama class that we had gone. Yeah. So the more open we will, उतना ही सामने से understanding आता है. So there were just Tanav and Raisa, and we were shadows with them, and the teacher was so understanding. And then she was not a special educator. She had no special background. Yeah. But she was so empathetic, and
Even our singing class, I mean,
yes,
we went on stage and I was so nervous. What if my kid starts running around? And that is what they actually did. And they were like, it's okay, they understand, because everyone else was standing in their position and performing beautifully. They also performed.
So this was like a performance on the stage.
Yes. And we were there.
we were there on the stage.
Yeah, holding our kids and doing whatever.
Mhm.
But they gave us that space. And I think the fact that we came forward, we said, we expressed anxieties, they were able to go and it became a place for, I think everybody in that audience was educated that day.
Right.
And so,
Right.
I mean, I hadn't even imagined that when we took our kids, when we requested them.
In fact, we were saying it's okay, they don't go on stage because we know they won't not stand in a place, and they were like, no, it's okay. You also stand with them. Let's see how it goes.
So they were comfortable, right?
The teachers were comfortable.
Yeah.
And because the teachers were comfortable, the students were comfortable. And because the students were comfortable, their parents were comfortable. So it's that the butterfly effect.
Yeah, and true. And everybody in that audience was aware of what a wonderful, something was happening out here.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It was more than just a singing performance. It was something, the kids over there were being sensitized. They were growing in a way which went way beyond, so that was something which, so we have to be a little bit more open. Even when we go as a team, for our excursions and all, we have noticed, that, people have been kind of, amazingly sensitive. They see us working with these kids, and they make that little extra space. So, it's not, as opposed to that, when I've taken my kid alone for a movie and all, I've had dirty looks.
Yes, the stairs.
Yeah.
But
You know,
in a group with the
it doesn't happen. I remember my daughter wanting to go to the loo, and she just had to go. I mean, that's not something I could really control. And there was a serpentine queue. This was after our trip to Elephanta, the huge boat ride and everything, and the gateway, huge queue. And she was like, I have to go, I have to go. And she's just pushing through people. And I'm like, listen, you've got to wait for your turn. And I just didn't know what to do because this was something totally out of my head. But then there was this group of moms who just looked at me and they said, okay, let her go. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. I mean,
Yeah.
like, a thank you was just not enough, the way they said, it's fine. Like,
These
child-
things don't happen to me.
special mom.
Yeah.
In general, people
They must have had like 2 or 3 minutes to kind of figure out the situation. And they responded beautifully. I mean, if I say that we are here to make a better place, it's happening.
Definitely is happening. And it's like the vibe, right? The
Yes.
vibe of the whole group. True, definitely. Is there clarity on the screen or do we need to? Yeah,
Yeah.
just excuse us for a second. We just want to. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So talking about inclusion again, there is again this question which a lot of parents pose. Like for instance, they say that okay, my child already has certain behaviors, and what if my child goes for the play dates and observes another child with a certain different sets of behaviors, then he will learn them, right? So there is this apprehension even amongst our community. So because they have been conducting play days for such a long time, and where each child I know is different, right? So I want to know what message would you give parents of this, both of you?
I mean, see, we want inclusion, right?
Hmm.
And it's time, as I said, inclusion is a journey.
Hmm.
Okay. And it goes every year, the challenge keeps on growing, it keeps on expanding. You understand it. So when parents come to us saying, like, we need to understand, they're afraid that their kids may, imitate, they may pick up wrong behaviors. We need to understand, every child, exhibiting a particular behavior or a stint, there's always a reason behind the behavior.
Yes.
If you can deal with it, it will vanish over time. And it's serving a particular purpose. That's one thing we need to tell all our parents. We need to understand it. It has to be so ingrained to us that we should not, need to ask again. That child who's stimming needs to stim. That child is regulating him or herself. Now that besides the point. What does my kid do? My kid is looking at this child who's like, doing this, and he's also playing. Now, what is actually being playing out here? Please understand. Even we did it as children. Okay. I remember telling my mom, I want my hair, tied up with ribbons like that because my friend is tying. And I started, actually imitating the way she spoke and all that. And my mother laughed, So why was I doing it? Because I wanted her to know that I really, really liked her. I really, really wanted to be her friend. And that is exactly what your child is doing when he or she is imitating the other child. So if the purpose of a play date is for you to grow your child's circle, for your kid to experience friendship, that is the beginning. Okay. And like we all do it, right?
Yes.
When we see our children, we are told you have to enter that child's world. Kid is jumping, you also jump. How many times can you jump? It doesn't serve a purpose for you. The moment you get a break, you stop jumping.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Once that connection is made, I don't have to jump anymore. I will not jump. It's the same with this child. It does not serve a purpose beyond letting the other person know I want to be your friend. And once that connection is made, this behavior will also die out. And we have seen it. It doesn't carry on.
Yeah.
This works for that child because he's getting some kind of
Regulation.
Regulation. It's not working for this other child. The whole purpose of imitation is just bonding. And bonding is the purpose of a play date. Okay. Yeah. There are behaviors which have consequences, which we want to avoid. And that time, like, maybe kicking or pushing, something like that, which the child may be in danger. And our parents have over a period of time understood, they take their children aside, they calm them down, they bring them back.
Right.
So it is a setup in which everybody understands
Right.
what is going on.
Right.
So if you put your anxieties aside, things will play out to your advantage. Okay? So that is something which we really need to tell parents. Please don't say no to bonding with another child because certain stims, yeah, if they are dangerous, we can walk around. But we need to have that openness. If a
Right.
child is acting out, it's probably because they are having a difficult time. If
Yeah.
we don't make that room for that child, how will we expect anyone else to do that for our children?
Right. So there's a lot of acceptance,
Yes.
And
which
also, again, yeah, what are stims? If I don't know if people are observing me, I'm stimming since the beginning of the session. It's just the socially appropriate stim. Okay, so stims help to calm down. वरना इतने देर नहीं बैठ पाऊंगी मैं. I have less sitting tolerance. I cannot sit for such long time. So, but I need something to fidget with. Okay, so also in that respect, we have kids who will kick or bite or scratch, but we also have that understanding. He's trying to communicate. That's his mode of communicating. If this harmful for my child, I'll see to it that we will keep that safety net or that उतना space रखेंगे. But we won't. We should not कि अच्छा मुझे तो उस बच्चे के साथ नहीं रहना because that child has so many other strengths that my child will not want.
Right.
Okay, so let's not just look at stems and disregard someone.
It has to come from a comfort zone. Okay, I remember my kid had this habit of breaking eggs. Okay, she is an explorer.
Yeah.
तो इसके घर में भी अंडे फूटे हैं, मेरे घर में तो होते हैं. सब wherever we go, and it was not like I felt horribly guilty. They never made me feel that way. Next time Playdate I went, it was never like, "Hey, Bhagwan, wo mere baare mein."
Yes.
What were they thinking about me? My kid made such a big mess and all. Itna sara nuksan. It was never there.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So at least that part is taken care of. Okay, I have to teach my child something about how we go about this with eggs and all. That is a different story.
But you
But
do
that-
it without anxiety.
Yeah. But that anxiety is not there. It's non-existent. Same
Then
goes with
let's
all
break the
babies.
eggs in the bowl. As in, we can always take that behavior to a very positive
Yeah.
behavior.
Like you said, what is the purpose? This question is very important, right? What purpose does the behavior fulfill? And I know, even with my son Shaurya, we've gone for walks together in parks where Shaurya is elder to Tanav. He is learning so much. He's learning patience, he's learning compassion, just being with Tanav. So, and this kind of a stress-free, kind of a set of mind, we don't always experience when we are in a neurotypical world, to be very honest. Because I remember when I used to take my son down to play in the campus, there were a set of rules that these kids really, follow. And it is a lot of expectations for our children to really remember all those rules and then follow them.
So having said that, if you have an opportunity to take your child down, as you used to do, keep taking them down and plan games where your child will be able to participate.
Right.
And make it so much fun that the kids want to join it.
So for Shaurya, because he's such a language based child, so the games that we used to play a lot had a lot of language and the kids used to enjoy. But also what I'm trying to say is, it's let's not just stick up to that my child needs to only be with the regular peers or children and then learn all the games that socially appropriate games. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of stress-free environment when we arrange play dates with our children, right?
Yes.
So
not just play dates, as in Kishor and I were talking. When we go to our houses, as in our community houses, we are so much relaxed. As in, we know what are the behaviors of our kids, we know how they do, and we are like, it's okay, chill, till that.
Totally.
Having said that, it comes in stages, as we said.
Yes.
The acceptance is here. when we go out, that circle of acceptance increases. Hopefully, there will be a day somewhere in the future where, every child will be kind of sensitized.
Yes.
So, that whole thing about not understanding and all, we have to start somewhere.
Right.
It's not
Right.
reached out there, but
Right.
there are kids who
Right.
are extremely
That's
sensitive.
the vision.
Yeah.
That's
And as we said, she's visionary. In one of our conversations, Rachel said this to me, that it's like always we ask this question, how do we make people open up to our children? And she said that why do we only ask these questions? Why are we not doing things which will, kind of commit from our side, that they are going to feel so comfortable? Like she mentioned about the field trips that she went, and people were just very welcoming to them. So you model, I think we modeled
To the world.
to the world, right?
There
How
are
comfortable we are.
There are
Yes,
wonderful
yeah.
people out there
Yeah.
who probably don't understand.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So once that understanding comes in, definitely this community of people who are more accepting. I mean, we will get to see that. Right now, it's like all bottled up because we don't know. We
Right.
have not asked them for help. A lot of parents feel the need not to discuss their child's issues. Understandable. They don't want, their child to feel singled out. They don't want anybody to, take advantage. Yeah. A lot of what we think is lack of acceptance comes from a place of fear. If we take it step by step, and if we can deal with that, and even society becomes more sensitive, it will take time. But somewhere we have to start. And I'd like to believe that we have made like a tiny
Indeed.
difference.
You have, indeed. Like I remember last time I just came with Shaurya to Prerana's place. It was Raksha Bandhan day, and he was upset because his cousin who was to come to tie him Rakhi did not come that day. And we just like come, and we don't even know that they're doing some activity on Raksha Bandhan. There were other two kids. And it was wonderful because Shaurya wanted a Rakhi that day, and he got one from Raisa.
He got the best possible place. Shaurya was Dada.
Yes.
Shaurya
yes.
held his hand out. Shaurya ate what was given. He was like the model we wanted. Yes.
And he hates, I think he had the apricot or something.
Yeah.
He would never eat it at home. he had it because Raisa gave it to him.
That was wonderful.
So,
yeah. And that
yeah.
full experience, the start to finish, that full
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
that we needed.
Yeah.
So we kind of fulfilled each
Yeah.
of the scopes.
No, and Rachel had a beautiful story around it, around Raksha Bandhan, and which was, I think, you had written that story.
No, it was something which evolved on the spur of the
Okay.
moment. We had actually said that we will come up with something. Sometimes we do things like that impromptu. And we are hoping that our kids also would pick up these things, because that's how we encourage creativity and stuff like that. So yeah, we said, I held out the little puppet which we had, and Tanav said, brother. I was hoping he'll give me a name, but he said, brother. Okay, fine, we made some progress. We're talking about Raksha Bandhan. And then the story evolved. The brothers and sisters were going out, and then somebody helped somebody, and that's what
Right.
Raksha Bandhan is about. So it was not something very elaborate. It was not a very, complicated story, but it did send the message out.
Yes.
And that is what we wanted to do.
Yeah. Okay. So, celebrating festivals, because this is so important, because most of our children cannot go. Like I know my son hates the festival of Diwali because there is a lot of firecrackers, there is a lot of noise. So, there's like a negative association with festivals with a lot of our kids. So, but I've seen, Prerana and Rachel celebrate festivals so beautifully, like right from Eid to Christmas to Diwali, everything, So, give some ideas to our parents how you're really so about it.
it is just understanding the essence of the festival. Okay, Diwali was never firecrackers. So why Diwali started? What are the things that we can do in Diwali? We can light diyas, we can make lanterns, we can do rangoli, we can make patsa, offer art. So all those things, the things that our kids will enjoy, they'll understand the essence of it, and what purpose does it serve? If we are celebrating, so in such busy life and busy world, it's difficult to meet up even as families, as friends.
True.
These festivals are there. just for that, so that we can come together and celebrate them. So also making those things understand कि ना क्या करते हैं festival में. Okay, now Tanav hates wearing anything other than t-shirt and tracks, and Kishor keeps on telling me तूने उसका style पूरा बिगाड़ दिया है. So these are the opportunities where we can wear jeans and smart shirt and t-shirt for say Easter, Christmas, and the Eid के लिए कुर्ता पहन लिया, दिवाली के लिए कुछ और पहन लिया, and those, and तभी he understands कि okay थोड़ा है uncomfortable, but I can manage for this time period.
No, I've always seen Tanav wearing traditional clothes,
yeah,
always, and
that very cute skull cap.
yes.
Yeah. So this is very, and I don't think अच्छा मुझे sensory पे काम करना है तो मुझे ये करना है. Let's do it in fun.
I think
way.
that's the important point that you brought up.
Partially, I guess because we are also homeschooling, the desire to find meaning in everything that we do, that happens around us, to be aware of our social surroundings. So this kind of gears us. And I mean, as a kid, I must have celebrated Christmas, Diwali, Independence Day, ye teen char. But right now that we are into this, our repertoire of celebrations is expanded to the extent. I remember she told me, Halloween. Yeah, Halloween karna hai. So she was like, yeah, karna hai. For her at that time, it was trick or treating. But like when we got down to doing it, we took up seasons, we took up, how the sun moves, even Sankranti.
Yeah.
It's not just about kite flying. And to bring in that whole element of as a global citizen,
Right.
what are you supposed to do? So when we started talking about Sankranti, people get very finicky. Okay? It's not about upholding all traditions. You take what's good, okay? And you can question, I mean, if that manja is killing birds, then time to take a look.
Right.
Yeah, and we actually showed our kids how to do those flying toys.
Yeah.
So we, I mean, if somebody has to bring out a change, then we need to begin here. Okay? So if Diwali, she said, it's not all about crackers. So what is Diwali? Chalo, let us make laddus together. Let us make rangoli. My kid is a big fan of rangoli. Okay. And I mean, for her, she would have loved it if every day could be Christmas and Diwali. So it's like that. So, bringing in those colors, that bonding, why Dhanteras? I mean, initially I never knew kya hai. But when we got down to exploring and, we told that whole story, even for us, it was a learning, why are those leaves important? And why do people buy gold? And we actually linked it together and brought this beautiful concept of, these leaves, this greeneries are true gold. So hang on to that, So take away from this whole materialistic culture of buying this, that, and let's get down to, what is the festival about?
Right.
And, get to that and celebrate in that scope. What can it teach us about our life today? Yeah. If we are talking about Ganpati, the whole idea of, people coming together.
Yeah, that was the idea why Lokmanya Tilak brought this Sarvajani Ganpati festival, right?
And now it has so many ecological connections we made. Why are we doing this? Why are we making it out of clay? Okay, and why are we immersing it in a pot? So we can start asking our children about these questions. So it's celebrations are celebrations, but there's so much of learning, understanding, growing happening. I mean, we don't lose an opportunity.
मतलब गणपति के साथ germination भी हो गया.
Science भी हो गया. And not as like through play.
We actually think, hey, you missed out on this. Why did we do this? We want to go that we want to use these opportunities to talk about these things because we understand that this is not a day's journey. We will do it in 16, 17, 20, 16, 17, 19. Then people, it sinks in. This is not something which we did just for a day. This is something we believe in. And, this coming together of people, irrespective of where they are from, which part of India, of celebrating different styles. And we actually, ask our friends, कि कैसे होता है South में Diwali? Let us cover this time. वैसे करते हैं.
Right.
या North India में कोई unique सा बता दो. So we did, that little Garanda. As a child, I never knew about it.
The Kolu, right?
No, the Garanda for Diwali.
Diwali. Okay.
Yeah, so this is it is not something that I knew about. Okay, doing. But वो हो गया. And then children made houses, they made compounds, they made swimming pool. It was amazing. So that kind of thing. And Govardhan ka wo bola tha but kiya nahi. But lots of things, lots of ideas, lots of ways in which we can relate. It goes back to earth. And these are actually the festivals, these are the traditions which we need to keep alive rather than this culture of, buying and shopping and gifting.
Yes, no, and this is such a valid point for me, because not just kids today, but even we, how many of us really celebrated festivals this way,
Yeah.
So the first thing is like nowadays it's firecrackers, orchestra, and a lot of loud noise, But I think you guys are really doing some meaningful work around the festivals. And there's a lot of research that must be happening behind it too.
Google helps. And also because as she says now, we have friends
Yes.
from different cultures.
Yes, so it's a
Yeah.
beautiful integration.
And we talk about acceptance, but kaise aayega? It's only when we go about understanding why you're doing what you're doing.
Mm,
Okay, it's not a simple ritual. There is some meaning to it. Okay?
right, right.
And that acceptance, you may not do it, but you appreciate it. Okay, at least वो तो है. पहली बार हम लोग गए थे किसी के घर to see that गोलू. Yeah, and we kept our toys also.
Yeah.
We made something and we kept it. It was a wonderful experience. As we keep on doing things
Yeah.
from different
Yeah.
parts and try to create that whole awareness that how people celebrate various values. You can't just tell a child ki kindness, kindness, kindness. You have to be kind. It has to come out somewhere.
Yes.
It comes out to stories. It comes out to our own participation, inclusion. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can say
नहीं,
something.
then गोलू,
Hmm.
so we relate. So उसके साथ हमारा community helpers हो गया था.
Okay.
Yeah.
गोलू
Because we had fire truck and ambulance and those stick puppets
Yes.
all on the goal.
Golu has dolls and we celebrate those dolls. Okay, so now in real life, whom do we celebrate? Our community helpers who
Right.
help us
Right.
every day. So that was so you need to find meaning of that
In today's world.
Relevance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very beautiful. And I think you all should be called in the mainstream schools to really give a different message. Like I really mean it. Priyanka, could you please play the video? Yeah. Celebration
Yes.
festivals.
Wise men from far away who came to see baby Jesus. Okay, they brought precious gifts for baby Jesus and they laid them down at his feet. One, go, bring down. Three kings pulling their clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was wonderful. I just saw the slide on COVID pandemic. So post that a lot of things have gone online, like, good things and also things which hit us. So have your play dates. I'm sure they were all like offline before the COVID. So have Do you all conduct online playdates now, or do you all like interchange both? How do you all do it?
Yeah, we realize that, having it online has its advantages. So it's like, अगर आप therapy से आ रहे हो, अभी भी आ रहे हो, it's difficult to reach a particular place. But if you're at home, you manage, na? And at the same time, people are very far off. They can also join us. People from abroad are joining us. Our friends who are abroad, they also join us. So it's kind of takes away that, restriction of location. So that is there. At the same time, there is a particular feel to our offline playdates. So we try to balance it out.
Okay.
And yeah, sometimes we get, Diwali hai, तो एक preparatory करेंगे, online करेंगे, and celebration करेंगे, तो offline करेंगे. So everybody gets to play a part.
Right.
Yeah.
So as you said, probably parents or moms from the different parts, other states, that's a benefit of online playdates, right?
It is. Also, it has its own pros too, because setting tolerance bhi badhta hai.
Right. Right. Well, so like, can you give some tips to parents on general tips on how to really conduct playdates? Both of you.
First thing first, find one parent. Okay. One parent willing to make that effort and take it off from there. There's always going to be people who would like to join. But even if you don't find more than one parent, start.
Okay.
Just start. Don't wait for the perfect day. Don't wait for sunshine. Don't wait for a festival. Start.
Don't wait for Monday.
Don't wait for Monday or Sunday. So just start. The nearest, most convenient time, go ahead. And yeah, if you can't have it indoors, you have it outdoors. But find one person who's willing to make that effort. And I would say, don't give up on the first try. Maybe the kids will not have a great time. Maybe they will. We don't really know. We can't really predict that part. But if you are consistent and if you, you give them more and more opportunities to meet and to experience that relationship, it's more likely to flow. Hopefully, you will get more people to join, and that will take on that very celebratory atmosphere, which we kind of were lucky to, jump into. So, yeah, I would say don't wait for a big group, and don't. There is no, rule as to it's in any rule. Many people say, "कितने जन होने चाहिए play date में?" अरे क्या है? Okay, you have one best friend also, you play now. So it's like that way. You start. And if there's somebody else who wants to join you, please open your arms.
Right.
Even today, there are times when it's just Rachel and me. And there are times when
And Tanav and Raisa.
Yeah. So, and there are times when there were 50 for Christmas, Halloween. So
Yeah.
it's never this or that. It's always joy, whatnot. So and also
Yeah. So what were we talking about? What was
So
the question
basically, I wanted you all to give general tips to parents about playdates. What are the things that they should keep in mind?
One thing is for sure, the child will pick his or her friend. That's a good place to start. Okay. Somebody who's a little bit warm or this, that. Where is the child will go? Okay. Somebody who kind of looks like the same age, has the same interests. Okay. वहाँ से शुरू कर सकते. You can always ask somebody, would you like to come?
Right.
And start over there. But, you have to start with creating a positive experience. So to that extent, you will have to kind of tailor it. So they have that positive experience. So if kids are more into physical play, so you kick a ball. If they are more into craft and art, we kind of came up with this whole, schedule. Okay, it was a loosely structured schedule, but it kind of catered to everybody's interest. So as we said, we started with a hello song, then we would do a little bit of singing and dancing. And then we would have some kind of, maybe a PowerPoint presentation, a story to tell, or a book to read, or some pictures to point out. Sometimes we would bring out board games, and there was always a connected craft activity. So I say, there was something, there was some structure, loose structure.
Okay.
So, thoda bahut isko pasand hai, you include those activities which your kid enjoys.
Right.
After a certain amount of time, when there is that comfort level,
Mhm.
then you could explore things which you want to introduce to them. Okay? But at the base of it, you always have to have a positive experience. Don't let it get in the way of, when you go back, you should go home feeling happy. When you have that, then you can say you're set, okay? Because then it won't be such a big task for you to, make that effort to come to that play.
Right.
And in that, maybe you need to lower your expectations a bit. Free play, when you are open to free play, this expectations wala nahi hai. It doesn't come in. Okay, I don't have to make that perfect card.
Right.
I just have to see my kid participate.
Right.
So you need to alter your expectations. The goal here is to make friends, and that is something we need to keep reminding ourselves. Everything else also is important. Nothing goes waste. But the main aim is to have that positive experience, share that positive experience with someone else.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So आपका structure तो है. First, find a friend, have 2 or 3 things which you can do with them, which they enjoy. They will tell you. Okay. The kids also, "Nahin, I don't want to play snake and ladder." Okay. They'll tell you. They'll tell you in their own way, not nobody will.
Understood. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
They'll communicate.
हाँ, कि कोई बोलेगा, "No, he always likes to win. I don't want to play with him." So then, okay, we know we need to address that issue. So start with something which, you are comfortable with, keeping in mind, of course, what the kids like, and then take it from there. You take that, observe, you take that feedback, and you grow on that. And I guess over a period of time, she said.
Also, no, I'd like to add, I've not added pictures where he's crying, okay? So these are all nice pictures that I've added for the videos. But I think 6 months Shuruat ke, then I used to cry. Cry as in he did not want it. It was too much noise for him. It was too much. But then we started observing that because he likes rhyme, he used to not cry in that period. So it's okay. And he also learned over the time. Set of friends, and they are not because of shouting. So he also understood ki they're their sensory needs. Okay, so that also came in, but it took time. So consistency
Yes.
is the key.
Yes.
I'm not saying 6 months pura kora tha, but he used to cry.
Yeah, and it was not only, it was not really only a negative experience for him, that as Rachel said, it was positive. And he knew that there was no pressure to perform, right? Because like, even when we say natural friendships amongst us, where do we really compete with our friends, right? For craft or I mean, I'm sure you and Rachel have both different set of traits and abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
If the kid is verbal, they might still tell you things.
Right.
But for us, we are actually grabbing at straws, and we have still got positive feedback from our kids. Okay, the comfort level they share with each other, especially as a parent of an older kid, also, I've noticed, it's like they develop this relationship. You'll see, how much they are arguing and fighting, But the moment you put them in a bigger group dynamic, you'll see them holding up.
Yeah.
And that's where you realize how much they have grown together. So that is something amazing. I've seen Playdates work with my elder child as well as with my younger child. And you see, you don't get to see it when you want to see it. But suddenly one day you'll have this eye-opening session.
It's there, yeah.
Yeah, where you realize that it was not entirely useless. You won't get that big hi, big hug, big hello, but you will definitely see the bonding happen.
Yes, definitely.
Also, I would like to add here, find, so not just, as Rachel said, find a child who is not at your child's, right? But not necessarily thoda sa, but find a parent who's at your level. Because, so as I said, even when Tana used to do not like it in narration, but this was more for me.
Comforting.
Because I used to like what we are doing together. I knew what the vision is. I knew that this will help teacher, and we are like So find those like-minded parents and you will get them.
Right. And this is one thing I need to point out. I mean, if I was on my own, I probably wouldn't have done so much with that stuff.
Right.
Because all parents in my in my position would probably say, understand, we don't get that immediate feedback.
Right.
You wonder, "Kya main story पढ़ रही हूँ, सुन रही है क्या?"
Right.
But when I do it together, I say, okay, कोई तो
सुन
सुनेगा.
रहा है.
But then suddenly I'll pose a question and there will come that answer and I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah, she did listen.
She did
Yeah.
listen. She did get it.
Yeah.
Maybe not 100%, maybe not 95, but it's there.
That's the beauty of our kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
They are absorbing.
This group kind of encourages us to do things together, bringing things into their awareness, which otherwise maybe not as much. We would not have,
Right.
put in that effort.
Right. And as we always talk about that, it's not that our kids don't seek a social connection. It's just that they don't know how to do it, right? So here's is like, I think your play dates are without any expectations, without any stress. So a beautiful opportunity for them to learn how to connect with each other as human beings.
And understand their own strengths.
Yes, yes.
I know Tana feels very accomplished when he sings a song to the group.
Yes, I can do it.
Something to
Yeah.
follow your need, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Mama the rules sunti.
absolutely, absolutely.
And Mama is always saying very good.
Yes.
But kuch nahi kiya to sunti.
Mama
Our
mentioned,
kids, our kids figure that out. We encourage our children, but sometimes maybe we overdo it also, and they pick on that. But when someone else encourages, then they realize that maybe there is something.
Yes, parents, I think one of the very important things that we all need to work on is the self-esteem of our children, and that won't come by just telling them you're a good kid or you're good. It'll come when they experience it. They experience the positive connection, being in a group. Yeah. Well, so, yes. How did these play dates help you all to blossom, as parents and also your kids to blossom?
Observing, right? I mean, like, she is the epitome of patience.
She is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like, and enthusiasm. So we feed on each other's vibes. That has helped us. It has taken us through some very difficult times. Even during COVID and all, we used to literally talk while we were working in the kitchen and stuff like that. And that made it so much more bearable. Okay, that I can, I used to actually look forward to kitchen time because that's when I got to talk. And yeah, so it has helped it as a emotional, at an emotional level, it definitely helps us because we feel understood. And anytime, it's not like I have to look at the watch and call her up. Okay. Anytime, this
She
is
knows I'm awake till 3 in the night.
yeah. And if maybe to
Yeah.
So
It's like a 2 a.m. friend.
Yeah. So and not just her, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but there are so many more of our friends in our group, and we reach out to each of them based on what we want at that particular time. And yeah, we're there for each other, and that has taken us to some very difficult times, as I've said. And we also looked at each other's children, okay, not like really as competition, but when I see her working on this, I said, okay, this is something I'm overlooked.
Yes.
Maybe I need to look at that also.
Yes.
And that learning is there. Yeah, see, everything in your experience, you can take it positively or negatively. But when we have such a strong connection, it almost always is never negative. It's always like, okay, देखो कैसे कर रही है. मुझे भी शायद ये सीखना चाहिए. Like, the way she's juggling and the way she's doing this and the way she's doing that. And, we kind of hold each other up. Okay, some days you may have a really low day and she'll remind me, why you did so much, why you feeling bad, and you need people like that.
Yes, because we tend to judge ourselves. We are the worst critics, right? Self-critics.
Yeah. So, and her favorite line, okay, load mat le.
I know, and many of us then picked it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes even when she's not there, I tell myself कि अगर मैं प्रेरणा को ये बोलूँ, she's going
to say load matli.
Yeah. So that is something which has like really kept us together.
I know I have someone who push me because I'm very laid back person. And I know that I don't need to worry about Tana's academics so much because I know Rachel is there. I know she will plan the cataracts part. I know these concepts will be taken care of because I know she'll remind me, "Tita, ये नहीं किया हमने, चल ये करते हैं। अच्छा राइसा का हो गया था ना करियो, चल ये करते हैं." So she won't leave me. She won't, अच्छा राइसा का addition हो गया है, so let's go to multiplication. She will go to multiplication. She will do with me additions also. So that is the bond that we have created, and now that keeps going. And there are times जब ऐसा लगता है बस नहीं हो रहा है, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, and that is when we look at each other and say नहीं कर लेंगे, साथ में कर लेंगे. So the essence of that tribe, of that finding your tribe and actually not just us, there are other friends who like they're there when we need them. So that has helped us immensely. Like more, I think more than our kids, we have benefited. So and the connection is so strong that we are wearing similar tops. And
I know. They're like twining.
no, right, but it has helped us a lot, as in that's it. So I am a very special person. I have a great set of friends, even from school and college, and they are like super friends. Okay, and they do help me and they do understand me at another level. But when it comes to Tanner, I know my special moms, they understand it much better because they have gone through it, they're going through it, they are in the same boat. It's not that my school or college friends don't want to, obviously they don't, they want to love me.
Yes.
But they cannot be there just because they're not there. So find your tribe even within this community is so important. So, and I'm blessed that I have found wonderful people. And you can see the video for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
based on what she said, you know, this whole question about levels and all. So it's like, you know, every parent worries, you mere bache ka level. And I keep reiterating, our kids are such, no, they always benefit from repetition. Okay.
Yes.
So if she is good, she'll get better.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like I'm wasting my time by doing something which, you know, the other kid.
Yes.
If she's good, she gets better.
Yes.
If she's good, she gets to shine. Okay, so these are also opportunity. It's never like, you know, it's a waste on a child.
Right.
Okay. So this is something which we need to tell people. Don't worry so much about level. Okay, fine. Koi PhD level pe hai or KG level pe you can't meet. Right. But of course, there is always something to share.
Yeah, and like even if you see the concepts in school, you know, they're always like you do the evaporation right from primary to secondary.
Precisely. Some people are just looking, oh, smoke is coming. Some people are saying evaporation.
Right.
Okay, so thing is like that.
Right.
So even this what she said, simple. If you are eating fruits. Okay. So first step is what is this? Then it's color. Then it comes to seeds, taste. Okay. So if there are kids who one already knows the food, the color, and those concepts ho gaye hain, take it to next level.
Right.
What does it taste like? How many
Right.
seeds it like?
Right.
Which season it is?
Right.
And the younger one can always go with, okay, red apple.
And the interesting thing is then the moment the burden is not on them. I'm asking you, I'm not asking you, but I'm asking. But she's
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I've always believed that I learned much better when my sister was reading her book. My ears were so it's like that, you know. The pressure is not there. I don't have to memorize this. Automatically chala jata. So that is something which I feel, you know, every child benefits, you don't have to worry. And wahi concept, as you said, from a KG class till
It's the same thing.
you're
Yeah.
teaching the same things. You're
Yeah.
teaching about air, water,
Yeah.
this, that.
Yeah.
What we teach about them. First, you're talking about wild and pet. Next, you're talking about, environment and ecosystems
Right.
and
Right.
mammals. And this. So
Right.
these features keep on getting expanded. But there is absolutely no place where there is no common ground. There will be. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like play is, play might seem like play, but play is where they really practice all these skills, right?
Simple play like
Yeah.
Simon
Simon
plays.
says, yeah.
Okay. If there are older kids, they can take the lead. They can be Simons.
Right.
And,
Right.
So
So you play your part, in
Everybody
each
plays. As
activity.
she said,
Yeah.
Sajiva. This whole and once you set out on this journey, all these things keep coming to. We attended this workshop, I think,
yes.
where they told us about this, and we were awestruck. Like, it's such a beautiful idea.
Concept,
Like
right?
when that small sapling and that earthworm and everything has a part to play. and you don't like really kill down all the possible, biodiversity
Yeah,
just because you want a mango tree.
Right,
You,
right.
you need those things. Everybody has a part to play. That
Right.
tiny little plant has as much a part to play as a big tree. So that is there. Everybody has a place in this whole system of
System. Absolutely. And I think that's what the kids are also learning, being in the play dates together, right? And what have any other things that you would like to add about how this have really benefited your kids? Or you have really covered everything, I guess, right?
So like benefit again we have a word. So the other day we were thinking, acha kya benefit kiya? And we were thinking, kya benefit?
Yeah, so it's not always like, black and white.
Hmm.
Yeah, so हम लोग को actually सोचना पड़ा कि what should we say? Like definitely they have benefited with the amount of effort we are taking.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so that whole thing that we have something going for us and something going for them, that is one thing.
Hmm.
Okay, it's not like we are not sleep back moms. We are doing actively participating in their growth journey, boosted by each other. The moment I fall back, she pushes me.
Right,
right. So things like that. So that is definitely there. Then they are aware of a bigger community. That is something which is very beautiful. They're aware of more people who understand them. And hopefully they will carry these relationships forward. So that is also there. And they have experienced friendship. As I've said, we have not reached that level of verbal reciprocation. So I cannot say that, they will say hi and hug and all that. Oh, nahi hai. But in a way, it's very nice to observe them because it's very genuine. The way, if she touches my chips, I will not mix it to you and cry. She will.
And Sanav doesn't let anyone have chips.
Have the chips except for Isa.
Yeah, so
Or the other kids.
yeah, so these are things which we really
Yeah.
need to pick on and realize that this is something which we need to hold on to. Okay, it may not be very obvious. It's not like Raisa sitting with that Aarti ki thali for Raksha Bandhan and Tana is like very well ready and all that. Nahi, wo nahi hai. But at the same time, whenever she sees the picture, it's always brother. I don't know. वो सिखाया था कभी या ऐसे. But it's like, since I don't have a brother and since
This is my
this is
brother.
my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and also the other day when we had that Raksha Bandhan in the morning, we did it in the morning, and in the evening we went to cousin's place, and then this fellow sat and he was like this, okay.
So yeah,
And I know he hates otherwise.
No,
Yeah. But still, he wanted to.
wanted as in he knew that
this is the part he's
Part.
expected to
Right.
play. That little bit of knowledge of what is expected of them that is coming in. Yeah, and सुनते हैं एक दूसरे का ऐसे. We were doing this game, and in a circle. And it took me a while, and I didn't realize she was taking the video. When I saw the video, I was so taken to a different level of achievement because when I was doing it, I was so involved, I didn't realize. But when I saw them that they were actually participating, they had learned. And now sometimes I hear Raisa sing the same song, and I'm like, okay, he did that.
And
Yes.
they were waiting. Okay, Rachel auntie is giving the prize. Give. So
With that. So yeah, we have to pick on those stars. It's not like okay, oh, they are such amazing friends and they do so many things together and they wake up in the morning and say, let's go here. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. But yeah. But there's definitely a lot of
Yes.
positives which we
Yes.
can count.
But isn't it more natural also, right?
Yes.
And friendships don't come with an agenda. You can be just be yourself with your friend
Yeah.
without any expectations. You all are such different people, but there's something which binds you all together. And that's how I think these playdates really help to be a part of the community, to feel that bond. And also as our children grow, there are times where they will feel lonely and they will seek some sort of emotional, bond with another person other than just the mom and dad or the family. And I think because what I really like about these girls is like they have been doing it consistently over the years. Like in the video, I think these are a lot of old pics that you'll have put. Yeah, but like I know a lot of new activities which y'all have done, like the Raksha Bandhan or Ganesh festival. So these kids are like now big, and they have grown together and
Taller,
definitely
actually.
taller, right? So there is a sense of bonding, there is a sense of comfort. And what more do you seek in friendship?
And what more do you want in general in life?
Yes.
Just the comfort
Yes.
to be what you
Yes.
are,
Yes.
and the people around understand.
Yes. And very often we talk about the mental health of parents. And I think one of the most important things we say that we need to talk, right? Talk, seek help. And as Rachel also said, there are times when we feel low and we have one person to bond to. Tomorrow, if I'm going somewhere out and there's an emergency in the family, I know someone who is going to know exactly about my child, and I can very safely keep my child with that person. And
I've had many such moments in the recent past. I mean, like my friends have been there, and that was a wonderful
Yeah,
experience.
yeah,
To experience that
yeah.
kind of friendship.
Also,
So,
there were times when we used to go from therapies and all. Our friends used to keep chai and nashta ready for us because they knew ye log bhooke aane wale. So
yeah.
that is the level of comfort and understanding that we have created.
Empathy,
Yeah.
right? And we don't have to tell our children what empathy is and teach it like,
Yeah.
this is how we model it to them. So, Priyanka, can you please put the video for us?
Yes.
Okay, so we have found our tribe, isn't it? It is wonderful having this heart-to-heart conversation with you all. And I hope so that a lot of parents get inspired from this conversation and they start something in their own circles, wherever they are. And you all can always reach out to these parents, if you have any doubts or any inhibitions about how to really go about it, how to take it from there. So let me just look at the Q&A section. Yeah, one of the question is, how old were Rachel's and Prerana's children when you started with the Playdates?
4, yeah.
Oh, fine.
4. And how old are they now?
11, 10, 10, 11.
Yeah. So it's been
So
a journey.
6 years.
It's been a journey, right? It's so important because, then reaching adolescence,
Yeah.
right from there. So, and these are the times when they really need someone to hold on to. Okay, how many in a group? Usually what size group is ideal for the outing, especially someone wants to know?
See, every child is accompanied by his or her own parent. Okay, so there is no real restriction. Okay, I mean, and we take public transport. If sometimes if private is available, we share that. So the idea is to make each other's journey a little bit more comfortable. So whatever it takes, and there is no real restriction. I mean, like you're holding on to your kid's child. There may be a time where you need to go to the loo and all, and hold on to your child. But there's no reason I can say "Ki I can hold only one child's hand." There are as many parents as kids.
Right.
Okay, maybe a little bit ratio here and there. Some people have 2 kids.
Right.
There are
Cousins coming in.
with twins. But they also learn to look after each other. So we have never really put a number onto it.
Everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
And if not in there, we both go. So
Yeah. So even that,
Yeah.
like not just a big number, even if it's just two of us, that's also okay.
That's also okay.
Yeah.
Indoors, sometimes there is a restriction.
Okay.
And I
as for
mean,
the space and everything.
yeah, so but then people have volunteered, now sometimes, for the, what is it called, Navratri and all. We've had different parents, opening up their homes to us. We've had huge gatherings for Christmas and, 50 people in our apartments. But there is a kind of magic in the chaos. And
It is.
Yeah. And as you saw the video of the
Yes.
tableau we were doing, everybody was like literally shoulder to shoulder, glued together, and actually, if we talk about focus and all, this is where our kids actually see it happening. All the parents sitting together doing things and everybody taking their turn to come up and say their lines. That happens. And, flexibility. You cannot like really push it down, like let's spell flexibility. This is something they learn as they go. This is how my parents did it. Right? I saw this very beautiful video of a long time ago of that butterfly song. I think we practically raiding the cupboard. Kitne dupatte hai, nikalo, and every kid was dancing over there. So it's never about how many is an ideal number, and once you go with that attitude, things are always enough. Okay, your apartment is big enough, your home is big enough, you have enough resources, and it comes together beautiful.
Right.
There are no wrongs. कि ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए, ऐसे ही होना नहीं.
Lot of flexibility. And one of the things which like I also see in your playdates is no expensive games or no expensive materials. It's all like very feasible and like so that's also like you don't have to really buy a cause and effect game and necessarily play. There's something which, like she said, dupattas, the props are what you have at home. I know Prerana had made the Halloween costumes from like some cloth which was there. She just put the holes and and then Tanu looked like a beautiful ghost. Yeah. So that's the charm of it, right? So that's something very feasible.
To add to that, there's a lot of sharing resources.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, we don't use expensive props, but if I have something like that, it becomes available to her. If she has something,
yes,
it becomes available. Kitni baar use kar sakte ho ek person. Okay. But if my kid uses it 20 times, her kid uses it 20 times, gets passed on. I think we have made good use of some of our toys.
So much of beauty in doing things together. I mean, like, yours said, if
In fact,
just,
if we have to buy something, we do talk to each other. तेरे पास है क्या? है तो मैंने लिखा.
And our friends also have been like very helpful, as in they have actually said, come and pick this up.
Right.
This is going to be good for
Right.
you.
Right.
To the extent that, right now we are having difficulty finding a place where to keep all this. But we hope to pass it on to somebody else so that they could use it.
Yes.
But it would be wonderful if we could have some place where you can actually set it up and make it like a certain anywhere. So those are things which we want to do in future.
Absolutely.
But we take it one day at a time.
Yeah. So I think what this journey also gives us is like a purpose in life, to find a meaning in whatever we have. Right. And that's what our kids have really taught us. From here, from playdates, starting, as you said, from having a birthday together to indoor playdates to outings, where do you see yourself going from here?
Oh, we have dreams.
Yeah. Patchwork quilt of
Yes. That was a beautiful idea which she just came up. We wanted to do something together. And she just threw this beautiful imagery and it kind of came together. It just, even that was like a sewing of, idea and imagery, because we have such different qualities. I've seen within the community, lots of moms have to set aside their careers and they are doing things which are mundane. And there's like a huge wealth of talent sitting there. And we hope that, we can actually through those talents together and create something for our kids.
Yes.
I mean, and in
Yes.
terms of activities, we went from sensory play to this. Now it's becoming, we are trying to include a lot of concepts in our games. And we hope to teach them certain skills also. Like, I mean, I am continuously exploring things like, okay, let's look at weaving, let's look at this, let's look at painting, let's look at cooking, and all these various activities which we want to explore. We want to find out what are they good at. And we have this whole idea that if we come together as a team, irrespective of what my child is good at, there will be a mentor for him or her, because I may not be able to teach my child everything.
Right.
And
Right.
that is so important to find somebody who will understand her for who she is. And, there are things which may get in her way, but they will not hold on to that.
Right.
They will see the potential.
Right.
Also customize as per their needs. So, for example, baking or cooking. Within our community, someone is doing that. We can put up the visuals, put up everything. So there are
Yes.
ways to do it,
Yes.
which will not happen in a regular sector.
Absolutely. So there is a storehouse of talents in our own community. And what I've really seen is even a lot of senior kids, senior kids who are on the spectrum, our kids look up to them,
Yes.
like I know, like, for instance, like who said dancing or someone else singing, like our kids look up to them, and more than learning that from someone else, I think they enjoy it and they learn it better from a senior child on the spectrum. So in terms of that also,
I remember the garden that we went.
Huh.
So initially we went together. And once when I took him and you were not there, and he's like, Shaurya Dada, Shaurya Dada is not coming today.
Yeah,
So it don't
yeah.
ask where is Shaurya Dada,
Right,
they're not there.
right,
Shaurya Dada
right,
was good enough for me to understand.
Right. And I do remember in the park, Tanav would have a pattern because the lights would, they would have these special lights in the park. And then that would be the time Tanav would know that, okay, now this is over and we have to go home. So once the lights were not on, and Shaurya was like, oh my God, now how will Tanav know? We have to go home, There's so much that they learn from each other. So it's beautiful, and we don't have any other question. I think there's one more question. Can you please hold? Okay, my son is 6 and is a bit shy. So how do I ask my child to initiate conversation? Okay, so I think the child is verbal, and the parent wants to know how does the child initiate conversation in the Playdate.
See, you already have some things planned out for you. Okay. So when you started, as we said, we started with the hello song. Our kids were not even verbal, but we started. So that's where you start. You start from the very beginning. So, okay. So yeah, you want to encourage your child to speak, to have a conversation. You have to start by making him feel comfortable. Okay. So whatever he is good at, you say hi, he says hi, he smiles, whatever it is, you take it from there. He won't say hi today. He'll say hi tomorrow. Okay. He needs to feel comfortable. He or she needs to feel comfortable in order to conversation, to share something. I mean, it may not happen in such an elaborate way as you may have, imagined it, but you have to pick up on those straws and build on it. And don't worry too much about not communicating in the sense like, okay, come see my room, or, let's play snake and ladder. You just have to go with what he is ready for at that moment. And if he or she is not ready, then you talk, you say, let's play. Yeah, you model behavior. Let's play. Okay, he's here. Let's play. Wouldn't it be fun to play this? I think it's time, I'm feeling a little hungry. I think it's time to have some snacks, or, things like
It
that.
has to be relevant.
It has to be relevant, yeah. And if you're feeling a little tired today, very often we used to feel very tired and we used to say, okay, we'll sit for 5 minutes and then we'll do. And things like this happen naturally. So in order to, be sensitive to the other person's needs. So these things come naturally. So even the fact that your kid is a little shy, that other child will also pick on it. Okay. Maybe you will not have to make so much of an effort. Maybe that child will make. Agar wo bhi nahi bol raha hai, parents can initiate it.
Right.
So there is always a beginning. There's always a way to start. And it doesn't have to be like, in a very structured manner. as the child gets comfortable, the child will giggle, talk.
Right.
This it doesn't have to have those beginning and end quotes.
Yes.
Take it from where your child
Right.
is.
So, like as Rachel said, like our kids particularly don't really like to do small talk. Like I remember my son, the watch, every time like the watchman would ask him, "Kaise ho?" And he wouldn't answer, most of the time. So I said, every time someone asks, you say, "Acha ho." So, he just spontaneously asked me, what if I'm not feeling well? Still I say, "Acha ho." Yeah, I say, "Aaj acha nahi ho." And I just thought, yeah, where do we? I mean, that comes like just as a
Yeah.
routine for us.
It's a road
It's a
thing.
thing.
How are you?
for- I'm fine, right? So I think they make much more sense than us most of the times. And as Rachel said, like consistency would be important. So if your child connects, like right now we are very comfortable in each other's space. We have a certain informal way of connecting with each other because we've been with each other. You spend time, and that's the same with children. For the play dates, if you all do it consistently, they will connect. And definitely, what purpose does the speech have? It is to, when the child is curious to know about things, to share about something. So I'm sure it will happen instinctually.
And if there is an issue, if there is some reason why a child is not comfortable, you have to address that issue. Okay. बच्चे बोलते हैं, they say, okay, I don't like because he only talks about tractors. So then okay, fine. Today we make a doll sit on the tractor. So there has to be some kind of common ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If you're playing with tractors, let's not go into the description of tractors. Let's have a race for somebody who's more active. So things like that. So you have to figure out why it's not working, if it's not working, and make those opportunities where the child can explore something fun, where they feel, okay, this was time well spent.
Yes.
And it's only then that they will go.
Right. And always like after the play days, if you all go home and like, make the child see the pictures and like the next day talk about, okay, what fun things all did. So as over the time, I think it is going to be absorbed by the children. And any other questions or it's just this,
for parents who really want them to increase communication, you could work on plays and stuff like that. So that is also an opportunity to explore.
Right. So a parent asks, do you have your play date center in Pune? Only if you provide the space.
We'd love to have playdate centers everywhere.
I would love the parents to initiate that
Hmm.
and you take it up. So person who's asking the question, you ask us how you can take it up and we'll help you with
Yeah. So basically Rachel and Prerana are based in Mumbai. And
we do have online
yes,
if you want
yes,
to join
yes,
that.
right. So you all could take the details from Priyanka from Forum for Autism. And they do have online playdates also. So if anybody wants to connect and you all are always welcome, right? Any other question? Can just no, that's it, yeah. Okay, so I think we will end up with the Ransom song.
Yeah, it's that.
Ransom song.
Yeah. So one of the songs that we do in our playdates, we'll do it. And I know I cannot see parents, but I would love the parents could stand in their place and copy us. But if you want your kids to play, you need to play.
Yeah, you need to play with your kids.
So that
Hands up high, reach for the sky. Won't be a Ram master. You've got a good little plaster. Oh, Ram Sam, oh, Ram Sam, goody, 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 Ram Sam. Oh, Ram Sam, goody, 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 Ram Sam. Be ora, be goody, 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 Ram Sam. Ora, be goody, 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 Ram Sam. Hands up high, for the sky. If you wanna be a Ramsam master, you've got a whole little master. Oh, Ramsam, oh, Ramsam, goody, 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 Ramsam. Oh, Ramsam, oh, Ramsam, goody, 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 Ramsam. Oh, Rabbi, goody, 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 Ramsam. Oh, Rabbi, goody, 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 Ramsam. Hands up high, and we go faster and faster, and the song.
Okay, that was wonderful and that was fun.
Yeah, we kind of started midway. So we start slow, allow the kids to pick up the steps, and then we go faster, faster, faster. And that's when it gets fun.
And this is beautiful. There's so many things happening, right? Body awareness.
Yeah. And then kids get exhausted and they sit down for the activity. Yeah.
Okay. So no
Break
more
breaks are wonderful ways to keep
Yes,
kids
yes.
engaged, to get them to settle. You know, it really works.
Yeah. And it should be fun. The goal should be fun,
Fun,
right?
obviously.
Yeah.
Our kids actually remind us,
Hmm.
you know, we was, "Oh, yeah, can we do this?" They'll say Ram Sam Sam, or they'll say, oh, you know, ki mountains,
Yeah.
and then we know which song they're referring to.
Yes,
Because
yes,
then they'll
yes.
tell us.
So it was really wonderful having this conversation with you all. And it's these conversations that really helped in the journey together and to move forward. And I hope this webinar was beneficial to all the parents. And yeah, so thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. And if you all have any more queries, you can always connect with the Forum for Autism to know more about it. Thank you so much.
Anyway,
Bye.
bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.